My name is Sowan Thai. I operate as the Incubator Farmer Coordinator at Spaces of Opportunity, which is an urban farm here in South Phoenix, and the Healthy Roots Cafe. I operate as the assistant manager who facilitates the front of the house for the kids to get them trained for hospitality. I literally used to live across the street, 7th and Baseline, which is less than a block away from Spaces of Opportunity. Before all the development happened, growing up here in the 90s and early 2000s, it wasn't the best place to live. There was a tremendous amount of violence, there's gang activity. If you just sit outside and go to recess with the kids, you can hear in the distance gunshots. It's actually pretty beautiful to see this happening because that pretty much coincides with why I started farming in the first place. My background was in molecular biology. I used to do genetic modification in the lab, and then I left that to start my own urban farming company, which is how I met up with John Wan and the rest of the family out at Spaces. I actually started at Spaces of Opportunity in about 2017 as an incubator farmer, and then in that time we had teachers and staff from VH Lassen, which happens to be less than a block away from our farm, come over and do tours. So I give them tours, I teach the kids about growing, I would explain what we're doing and why we're doing it, and then through that I became involved teaching Gail with her 3rd and 4th graders, and then eventually they brought me on to help manage this new restaurant concept idea called the Healthy Roots Cafe. The link between Spaces of Opportunity and the Healthy Roots Cafe is it's essentially food to food. So we're growing food, it's harvested less than 48 hours from Spaces of Opportunity, and that food is then brought to the Healthy Roots Cafe where we cook it and serve it to the community at large. And the food that isn't eaten here, not just here at the Healthy Roots Cafe, but at the school itself, we collect it, and instead of having it go to a landfill, it gets diverted back to our compost pile, which then gets provided back to Spaces of Opportunity for our farmers in the form of nutrient-rich compost, which is then used to grow those crops, which comes back into the Healthy Roots Cafe. At any point, the kids can and have been to visit every point of that system. The Healthy Roots Cafe is completely run by the kids. If they want to go see compost, give tours of our composting area and facility, they can come to the farm and do some harvesting. And another good thing about this experiment that we're doing with the healthy community is that most kids, when you ask them, where's the carrot come from? Oh, the store. But then you have them go and pull carrot out of the ground and then taste it. So not only are they getting that experience of harvesting their own vegetables, you can see it in their faces when they taste a product with higher nutrient value than something you get at the store. It is important to think about where our food comes from. What I feel is my purpose here is to grow food in a part of the city, which I'm born and raised here in South Phoenix, and to inspire and encourage the next generation of farmers